Hello, welcome to this evening's yoga session. My name is Justin Poole. I'm the artist in residence over at Asbury United Methodist Church. And if you're just joining me now, if you haven't joined me previously, I'm also a certified yoga instructor, and we are going to be doing a mild to moderate level class tonight. So you will get the blood flowing a little bit tonight. You might sweat a little bit, and that's totally cool. That's great. If you go ahead and find a place on your mat somewhere, that would be great. If you have a yoga mat, it's awesome. If you don't, you could just find a place on the floor somewhere and lay down on your back. And relax your muscles into the ground beneath you. So close your eyes, breathe, maybe envision your body from your feet going all the way up to your head. Maybe with one exhalation of breath, you bring one more group of muscles down into the ground. So you're sinking a different muscle group into the ground each time you exhale your breath. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. You can breathe in and out through your nose and out through your mouth, whatever feels more relaxing, more comfortable in this moment. Go for it. And as you're lying on the ground and relaxing your muscles into the ground, just be aware of the room, be aware of any sensations in your body, and know that that ground will indeed hold you up, so you don't need to do any work right now. Work is coming later. Trust that that ground is going to hold you up. You can just relax your muscles into that ground. And I like to begin each yoga session with a quote or a verse from scripture to help us focus, center, maybe give us a comforting thought. And this is from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. It's helpful to know that there is hope in the midst of the uncertainty that we're currently living with. Slowly make your way onto your side and come to a tabletop position on your mat. So tabletop position, your knees are about 2 fists apart, your hands are about 2 fists apart, and your hands are also beneath your shoulders. And you're going to take yourself through a few cat and cow poses. So cat pose, push the ground away with your hands and bring your back up towards the sky. So you're arching your back like a Halloween cat. You all know the image, a black cat in Halloween, looking scared, frightened. And then you're going to go into cow. And so you bring the base of your spine up and you bring your gaze up, forward and up. And then you arch your back like a hammock. So the midsection of your back is going down. Back into cat. Back into cow. And just go back and forth between cat and cow. Exhaling on your cat. Inhaling on your cow. Do it a few more times. And find your way back to tabletop. We're going to do some leg stretches, some leg balancing poses today. So you're going to reach your right leg back. So you're pushing into an imaginary wall behind you with your foot. And you're going to reach with your right arm forward And reach through those right finger, or reach with your left arm forward. So you're reaching through those left fingertips and reach through your right foot. Try to bring that foot up a little bit higher maybe. So you're pushing into an imaginary hand, which wants to push your heel down towards the ground. So you're pushing up into the imaginary hand, pushing back into the imaginary wall, and you're shooting the energy out through your fingertips, through your left fingertips here. And if you're feeling a little bit burned, that's okay. Come back to tabletop pose. From here, we're going to do the other side. You're going to shoot your left foot back and shoot your right hand forward. So balancing your weight on your left hand and on the top of your right foot and on your right shin and right knee. Bring that leg up, that foot up higher, and push it back even more, and bring your right fingertips even more forward. And come out of that pose. Take yourself through a few cat and cows again. Lean cat. Push the ground away with your exhalation. Inhale and cow. Exhale and cat. Inhale and cow. One more time on each. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Now reach back with your right foot again. Reach forward with your left fingertips. And then bring your left elbow to your right knee. And shoot them back out again. And bring them together. Shoot them back out again. And if you want to, you can reach back with your left hand, clasp the outside of your right foot, and open up your chest to the left side. Come out of that, back into tabletop. And if you're just joining us, that's great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I post videos of this online, and so a number of people joined after the fact. So if you're a live audience member, or live participant rather, you can go ahead and mute your microphone, and then we'll touch base at the end of the class, and we can talk about how things went for you. And if you have any questions or whatever, we'll talk about that too. So then you're going to stretch out your left foot behind you and stretch your right hand forward. And then you're going to bring your right elbow to your left knee. Shoot it back out. Really push the back wall away with your left foot. Really reach forward with your right hands and really push up your left heel. Then knee to elbow again. Reach back out again, and then reach back with your right hand if you want to, and clasp the outside of your left foot. Open up your chest to the right side of the room. Slowly come out of that pose. Take yourself through a few cat and cows again. Might be feeling a subtle burn, a little bit of heat, energy. And now you're going to do what I call scraping the barrel here. So you're going to bring the right side of your torso to the right. You're going to come into a cat, and then you're going to bring the left side of your torso to the left, and then you're going to come into a little bit of a cow here. And you're just going to move your hips like this as you are scraping the inside of an imaginary barrel with your torso. With the left torso with your belly, the right side of your torso with the back. Just going all around here. And then go in the opposite direction for a little bit, a few times. Belly, left, up, right, belly, left, up. In yoga, it's important to always try to marry the movement to the breath. So you want to do breath and movement at the same time. Come to a tabletop pose right here. And then you're going to come into a plank pose. Now, you can do a modified plank. You can have the tops of your feet pushed into the ground here. You can have your knees in the ground here too. This is totally acceptable if it's hard to do a plank, or you can come on into a high plank like this. And you're going to lower down on 3, 2, 1. Come all the way to the ground. So belly to the ground, chin to the ground. And from here, bring your hands so that they are to the right and left of your chest here. And you're going to push the ground away. And you're going to arch that back and look up. Getting the back bend in here, this cobra pose. Now you can do lower if you want to. You can do a little higher. Slowly come down out of cobra pose and rest on one cheek or the other. Now, as we start to flow through, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. So you might hear me say up dog or cobra. What we just did is cobra. And so up dog is a little bit different. So what you're going to do is you're going to push the tops of your feet into the ground here. You might want to bring your hands a little bit further back towards your feet, just a little bit. And then you're going to bring your pelvis just up off the ground a little bit here and get an even deeper back bend. So your pelvis is hovering off the ground. The tops of your feet are pushed into the ground and your hands. And you're looking up. Up dog. And then from up dog, go into a downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, you're going to push the ground away with your hands. You're going to bring your bottom up and back as you bend your knees a little bit. And then you can think about unbending your knees, straightening your legs a little bit here in downward facing dog. I'm going to reorient myself to the front of the room, and we're going to start to do a basic flow sequence here, really focusing on our legs and on some leg balancing poses. Downward facing dog is a good place to meet up. But another good place to meet up is child's pose. So slowly bring your knees down to the ground, and then you're going to sit back, bring your bottom back towards your heels here. So again, I'll reorient myself just for a second so you can see from the side here. Child's pose, you're going to bring your fingertips out in front of you, and you're going to really bring your bottom down towards your heels. Stretching out through your back here, nice long spine. Child's pose. So either downward dog or child's pose are totally acceptable depending on how intense you want to make this practice. This can be a moderate practice, can be an easy practice depending on how far you push it. From here, you're going to bring your left leg all the way up. So you're in a three-legged dog here. Ball of your right foot is in the ground, left leg is all the way up. And then you're going to shoot that left leg forward so that your left foot is between your hands, and you're going to come on up into a low lunge. Top of your right foot is in the ground, right knee is in the ground. Bring your hands down, bring that back foot forward to meet the front. Halfway lift, forward fold, come all the way up. And from here, you're going to stretch over to the right side with your fingertips and bring the left side of your left hip to the left side. Breathe deeply in this pose. Stretch up nice and tall again. Bring your shoulders down a little bit so they're not all the way up in your ears. Bring them down. Bend your back, look back a little bit and up. And now grow taller, and now send your right hip to the right side and your fingertips to the left. Grow back tall again, back bend again. And swan dive down, bring your chest down to the ground, step your feet back, come into a high plank, or you can do knees, chest, and chin going down, then come up into an up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Bring your right leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Shoot that right leg forward. Bring that right foot in between those hands. Low lunge on this side. Bring your hands down. Bring that back foot to meet the front. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Come all the way up. And you're going to slowly bring your weight to your right foot. You're going to pick up your left foot, and you're going to either put your left foot just below your knee or just above your knee. So your right foot plugged into the ground, left foot above or below your knee. And grow those arms nice and tall. Tall spine. I like to say, pretend there's a puppeteer in the sky, and that puppeteer is lifting up a string at the top of your skull here. So you find yourself growing a little bit like a marionette. And slowly come out of that pose. And bring your weight over to the left side, to your left foot. Slowly lift up your right leg. Bring your right foot either above or below your knee. And tree pose on the side. And if you hear my kids in the background, that's just because they haven't fallen asleep yet. They're doing some Zoom bombing today. From here, slowly, with control, try to bring that foot down and then stand nice and tall. Arms up, swan dive down, step back, flow through, either knees, chest, and chin, or all the way down. Up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, bend your knees and jump forward about a foot or so. Come on into a chair pose. So you sit back down into an imaginary chair, lift your fingertips forward and up, nice straight back. Come all the way up, swan dive down, step or jump back, flow through. Downward facing dog. Maybe bicycle your legs out a little bit, maybe bend your left knee. Feel a stretch to the right side of your torso. Bend your right knee, feel a stretch to the left side. Go back and forth a few times, but of course, always available to you is going back into child's pose, if you feel. From here, lift your left leg up and back. Shoot that left foot forward in between your hands. Come on up into a high lunge right here. Bring your hands together at heart center. And if you want to, you can twist over to the left side, or you can just stay in high lunge. And if you want to go even further, you can open up your arms and bring your gaze up. If you're still hanging out in just high lunge, that's awesome. Now you're going to pivot your back foot so that the outer edge of that back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Come into a warrior two. So front toes are pointing to the front, back toes are pointing to the right side. Outer side of your back foot is parallel with the back of the mat if you have one. Bring your front palm up, come forward just about an inch or so, and then hinge back, reverse the warrior. And then come into an extended side angle by bringing your forearm here down onto the top of your upper left leg, and then bring your right fingertips up and forward. So you're finding a parallel line between the outside of your right leg, the outside of your right foot, all the way up your body and shooting out through your right fingertips. Come out of that, back into warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down. And then you're going to move your front foot over just about a few inches. And you're going to bring your back foot so that it is at a 45-degree angle. And you're going to bring your hips a little bit more towards the front of the room. Angled out a little bit this way, but maybe a little bit more towards the front. Warrior one. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle with the back of the mat. Front toes are pointing front, warrior one. Bring your hands together behind you, clasp them at the base of your spine, sacrum, and then bring your shoulders back and down and look up. And humble warrior, bring your forehead down towards the ground. Come out of that pose, back to warrior one. And one more pose on here. What you're going to do is you're going to come back into warrior two-like pose. And so with the back of your foot parallel with the back of the mat, you're going to bring your right fingertips down to the ground. And then you're going to lift up your left hand and look up. Now you're going to bring your left hand down towards the ground. You're going to lift your right hand up, pushing your left fingertips into the ground, your right fingertips up, gaze up. Bring that hand down, and then bring that front foot back and flow through. Up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Bicycle that out just a little bit here. Bring that right foot all the way up. Shoot that right foot forward in between your hands. Come on into a high lunge with your right foot forward. Bring your hands together at heart center and twist. Open up your arms. Again, you can always just stay in high lunge. If you're twisted, untwist slowly with control. Sink deeper into that high lunge. And then pivot your back foot so that it's parallel with the back of the mat. Come into warrior two. Hips are to the left side. Bring your front palm up, hinge forward about an inch, reverse warrior. Extended side angle. Diagonal line between the outside of that back foot all the way up your body and out, shooting out through your left fingertips. Gaze goes up towards the ceiling. Come back into warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down and then rearrange your feet just a little bit from here. So your back foot is at a 45 with the back of the mat. Front toes are pointing straight in front of you. Warrior one. Clasp your hands behind you at the base of your spine. Bring your shoulders back and down, look up. Forehead goes down. Hands go up towards the ceiling. Humble warrior. Back up into warrior one, nice and strong here. And then come back into warrior two. Bring your left fingertips down into the ground. Bring your right fingertips up and look up towards your right fingertips. Bring those right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Look up to your left fingertips. Come out of that pose, back into warrior two one more time, and then cartwheel your hands down and then flow through again. Up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and step or jump forward. Halfway lift, forward fold, all the way up, and then stand in mountain pose. So bring your Feet about 2 fists apart from each other. Bring your shoulders back and down. Lift your palms out towards the front here of the room. And then grow through your spine here. Again, the puppeteer in the sky is going to lift up the string at the top of your head. Now you're going to slowly bring your weight to the right side, to the right foot. You're going to lift that left knee. And if this is all you feel comfortable, that's great. All you feel comfortable with, you can stay here. Or you can move your left leg back and grab your left ankle with your left hand. And then bring your right hand forward and come on into a dancer pose right here. This is harder to do on carpet. I'm on carpet right now. Easier to do if you have a hard surface. Slowly come out of that pose and try it on the other side. Again, it's cool if you just want to practice kind of balancing on one foot without the bow-light pose here. Reach back with your right hand, clasp your right ankle, and really open up here in dancer pose. So from the side, you can see better doing this thing. Slowly come out of that. Bring yourself back to mountain pose. Find stability in mountain pose. Reach your hands all the way up. Swan dive down. Flow through one more time here. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Bring your left leg all the way up. Bend that left knee. Open up your hips to the left side of the room. Bring your left knee to your left wrist. Bring your back foot back further and sit down into a pigeon pose. So your lower left leg is going to be at a little diagonal cutting this way. And you're going to feel the stretch, especially not in your knee. If you feel it in your left knee, probably back off or adjust somehow. It's a little difficult to communicate through Zoom, these things sometimes. And then you're going to bring your bottom a little bit lower, pelvis a little bit lower towards the ground here. You're going to feel the stretch in the outer part of your upper left leg, probably around here. And then if you want a deeper stretch, bring your forearms down to the ground. And if you want an even deeper stretch, you can bring your forehead down to the ground and stretch your fingertips in front of you. Slowly walk your hands up if you've been stretching there for a little bit, and then bring the ball of your right foot into the ground and then lift up that left leg. Circle that leg around a little bit. And if you want to, you can flow through right away from here. Or if you want to try more of a challenge here, you can flip your dog right here and bring your pelvis up to the ceiling and say hi to the camera in front of you or to the computer in front of you. And flip back around. We are going to flow through. I said one more last time, and I lied. We have 2 more flow throughs to do. Downward facing dog. You can walk your downward facing dog out a little bit, and then stretch your right leg all the way up and back. Bend your right knee, open up your hips to the right side of the room. Bring your right knee to your right wrist. Come on down into a pigeon pose on the opposite side as before. Slowly come out of that pose, work your hands up, bring the ball of your left foot into the ground, lift that right leg, move it around a little bit, circle it, open up your hips to the right side of the room, bend your right knee, and then you can flip that dog or flow through. meet you back in downward facing dog in a second. For real this time, the last time we flow through. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Bring your bottom up and back so you feel an even nicer stretch through your back here, really lengthen through your spine. And then think about bringing your heels down. Really deepen that pose, the downward dog. Then bend your knees again and then jump through and come onto your bottom here. And you're going to slowly make your way so that you are balancing at the base of your spine and your sacrum here. You're going to bring your feet out in front of you and really straighten your legs. And you're going to slowly lower down. We're going to do this twice here, boat pose. 1, 2, 3, but don't go all the way to the ground. Have a little bit of tension here. Come all the way back up. And then lower down on 3, 2, 1. From here, you're going to go ahead and stretch out. So you're going to stretch out through your right fingertips along the ground and through your right foot. Shooting the energy out through your right fingertips and through your right foot. And then shoot the energy out through your left fingertips and through your left foot. And then shoot them out through your feet and through your fingertips.
Mommy says you have to try harder.
And then slowly relax out of that as you breathe. Bring your feet into the ground and your knees up. And we're just going to do a little cool down now. So you're going to bring your right ankle so that it's resting just above your knee. So at the top part of your left leg here. And you're going to gently maybe coax that right leg forward a little bit with your right hand. And then what happens if you then reach through between your legs with your right hand and then clasp your right and your left hands at your left shin and then pull. So you should feel a similar stretch to what you felt when you were just in pigeon a minute ago. The outer part of your upper right leg. Slowly come out of that pose. Bring your feet down and do the opposite side. So bring your left ankle so that it is on top, resting on top of your upper right leg. Gently push that left leg away from you with your left hand. See how that feels. And then try reaching forward, clasping your hands at your shin and pulling that right shin towards you. With it, you should feel a pigeon-like stretch in the upper outer part of your left leg. Slowly come out of that pose. And bring your feet so that they're maybe an arm length apart, maybe a little bit less. And so that your knees are coming towards each other. And you're just going to bring your knees to the right side, bring your knees to the left side, bring them to the right, bring them to the left. So your shins are like windshield wipers in a car, back and forth. And then just kind of hang out here for a minute. And now we're going to attempt a bridge pose. So this will engage your leg muscles. This will also engage your shoulders, other things. So what you're going to do is you're going to work your heels a little bit more towards your bottom here. And you're going to lift your pelvis up. And you can push the ground away with your forearms and your hands in a bridge pose like this. Very important, by the way, not look to the right or left, just look straight up, okay? Your shoulders are resting on the ground. There's weight on your shoulders. There's weight at the top of your back. There's weight on your feet. Okay? But there shouldn't be undue weight or pressure on your neck or your skull here. And if you want to, you can even bring your shoulder blades a little bit closer together here and walk your arms down below you and clasp your hands at the base of your sacrum here. And really move your pelvis up higher towards the ceiling, really feeling the burn in your upper legs. Slowly come out of that pose, bring your knees to your chest, and then bring your knees over to the left side of your body, and bring your fingertips and your gaze and your arms to the right side. And then coax that right leg that wants to pop up a little bit, coax that down towards your left leg with your left hand. Feel an even deeper supine spinal twist right here. Bring your knees over to the opposite side, to the right side. Bring your gaze and your fingertips to the left. And then gently coax that leg that wants to pop up down towards the right. And then bring your knees up, bring your knees to your chest. Circle your legs around just a little bit here. And you can either go back into a bridge pose, or if wheel is in your practice, you're welcome to do that. Again, you can make this as challenging or as relaxed as you want it to be. You can just kind of hang out right here for a little bit. Wait for us, for those of us who want to do bridge or wheel pose. If you want to do wheel pose, you want to put your hands into the ground. You want to point your fingertips towards your feet. You want to bring your feet a little bit closer to your bottom here. Put the balls of your feet into the ground, and then you're going to push the ground away with your hands and the balls of your feet. Wheel. Torso goes up, pelvis goes up towards the ceiling, pushing the ground away with your hands and the balls of your feet. Hold this for one more long breath. Slowly come down out of that pose, do a counter pose by moving your knees to your chest. Circle your legs around a little bit. Let's do one last cool pose. This is the pose I really like, happy baby pose. See a lot of babies doing it. It's fun, it's creative, it's interesting. So you're gonna grab the outside of your right foot with your right hand, outside of your left foot with your left hand, and you're gonna bring your right side down a little bit. And then bring your left side down a little bit. Just kind of go back and forth a little bit. Kind of going to the right, to the left in your spine here. If you flip over to one side or the other, all the better. That's even more fun for you to do that. Slowly come out of that pose. If you want to do any last pose, feel free, and then make your way into relaxing corpse pose or shavasana, as they call it. So shavasana, you're just laying down on the ground, trusting the ground is going to hold you up as before when we began practice tonight. Or today, depending on when you're listening to the video, watching the video. Maybe breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And scan your body going up in your mind's eye, seeing your feet. And as you exhale, relax your feet into the ground. Going up your body, relax your calf muscles into the ground. With each exhalation of breath, you release one more muscle group deeper into the ground. Going all the way up your body, eventually to your skull. Eyes closed and breathing. And we'll end our practice today as you're lying in Shavasana with the same verse that I began with. From Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. There is hope. There is a future. Rest in that trust, in that hope. Slowly make your way to your side. And come to a seated position. And we like to bring our hands to heart center. And traditionally in yoga classes, we end by saying namaste, namaste, or peace be with you. Thank you for joining me today. And if you want to join me again, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, or feel free to join remotely through the recording. Thank you.